know where the origins of it come from is when I'm in, okay, I'm pushing away, I shoot my hand beyond, turn to my side, and then I'm reaching up and grabbing the inside of my own thigh to basically push him down. So this is, I mean, when you look at this, you can see the beginnings of buggy. Okay, we used to do this as a general control to shut people down, and I'm using my hand up against the hip to control them through here. Now the part you have to watch out for is when I hit this position, you're in trouble. Okay? But everything in jiu-jitsu is a calculated risk. So now that I've got him into my armpit, I can crush him down. If you are capable of going deeper into your leg, hey, that's fantastic. That's where the buggy choke sits. I armbar myself almost every time I try to buggy myself or buggy my partner. But when I'm pushing into his hip, I take this leg now, okay, for myself. I pull my foot backwards so that my leg, instead of being out here, I'm pulling it back so that what I can do through here is now I'm going to use this pressure of my little rack that I've got going over his head and the pressure I've got onto his hip to now push, like I'm trying to rotate down, and you see I'm pulling my hip backwards. Okay? So when that happens, then I dive bomb my knee inside. So what I'm doing is, when I'm here, I'm trying to go this way. When that happens, my knee can come to my chest, and I can open up a different gap to make my shrimp to get in to pull guard. Because if he's really heavy pressure trying to push in, okay, and I frame and get over the top, right now everything is so tight, it's difficult for me to get in. So pull this one back. My hip is not just pulling backwards to shrimp. I'm trying to rotate like I'm trying to go belly down. Okay? So as I'm pushing, I'm driving into the back of his head with this arm. And again, it's as if I'm trying to turn belly down into the process. And again, everything is more than one attempt. Okay? Shrimping is more than one attempt. A lot of things. Upa is more than one attempt. We don't do it once and go, it didn't work. Okay? Sometimes we have to move more than once to create the gap we're looking for. So this one comes back. I'm pinching down on top of the shoulder to then turn to create the gap. Okay? The more I can turn, the more chance I have to bring that knee inside. Okay. Then once we're in, I tend to like to hook and look for half guard. Okay, and then half guard can lead to full, however I can get it. I've got that one shield inside. If I can still push to come in, but if not, I shoot to get one leg hooked in, even though the other one right now you can see is still kind of playing a knee shield. It's not actually into, but this is already slowing him down. So now it's easier for me to get to a full guard. Again, as I'm in, shoot, get to your side, latch him in. Through here, just have him play a little bit, try to get free. Stand on buttons, to your side. It's only over his neck. Okay? No.
This is really interesting.
No, Rika. Not Kenny. Yeah, now grab the inside of your own leg. And if you got deep pants, all you have to do is grab the pants.
Right, I was thinking of that.
Yep.
Put that and get it off like that. See how you push it on the hood to your side? You gotta cut it out.
Even more so.
Oh. Oh.
There you go.
Very. I had a decaf.
You already opened up room one, ma'am?
I did.
No, it's when the bathroom's closed.
Yeah, and I opened up the back doors and the windows.
Okay.
I haven't opened up the bay door yet. We will open up the bay door when the kids are, because it helps with we'll have both.
While the sun's on that side,
It's
it's
fine.
okay. When the
Yeah.
sun's on that side, no.
Once it hits about noon, we'll close it up.
Yep.
Sir? This leg.
Do I look like this?
This leg up and down here. There you go.
Yeah. He said.
You're good for the week now, huh?
You don't feel anything.
I have no idea. Never have I ever been that way.
Yeah. Have you swim
It's
much?
actually, Dave, it's this
You know what I
one.
mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, for the record, I have tapped out 2 people in my lifetime from the buggy, but it's so.
I don't like it.
I was getting Christian with his buggy too.
And then.
Well, because
And the truck series.
he is lanky enough that he can actually get deep enough into his own. I armbar myself every time I try to I'm literally armbarring myself. It doesn't do me any good.
You gotta get it angle.
Is it a foam roller?
Foam roller.
Do it.
That's what I was
Bring it back in there square.
You shut up.
You need a square.
Don't tell me what to do.
And that's why I was really the
You
difference.
don't like it?
Yeah.
Now, a couple times, wrap your partner up, and then do nothing, and let your partner try to escape. And while they are trying to pull themselves to freedom, again, let them struggle for a little bit, and then look for an opportunity while they're struggling to get back to guard. Yes. Yes.
Ready? No.
Here, all right. You gotta escape.
Oh.
Yeah, because I know if I leave that on
More
I wish I had-
big,
Yeah.
I wish I had been-
That's when the secret home runs, like it sits straight up.
You know what?
We have to remember, in real life, he is not
We're
realistic.
getting old, man.
No?
No, Turkish oil wrestling is.
Talking about Jeremy, all right?
Sarcasm.
I've grown up on this for the past year for the giddy.
I love the game.
Yeah,
He's kidding.
I know he was, but.
When is the start of this move? I'm going here and coming around?
Or,
Almost like a.
or when she's like trying to hold the barrel, so start to push her head, then yep.
Initially, I don't have the hole. Hold it tight. How's that? Yeah.
That's all right. You got big shoulders, I don't.
Oh.
It's just a little. It wouldn't have worked on mine.
You know, every once in a while,
It would have ended up in rodeo guard again. I'm really sad.
every once in a while, you have to just throw the first thing on top of you.
Just throw them?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Well, again, I mean, to say that that doesn't exist as an option is incorrect.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Josh, you good?
Yeah.
I went on Mike.
Where's the honey?
Old man black. It's just that my, my over, you know, the hole you got, it's still loose, I don't know, I keep losing them.
It's my goal.
sooner.
I need to hang on.
Can you bring this leg out more? see how you're hooking your legs together?
Now, biggest part is, for some people, are you feeling like your partner sits up and starts to create space? Is that not one of the major things we're looking for when we try to get guard retention? So when they sit up, at that point, we let them. We don't try to hold on like a koala bear anymore.
It's like most air bars if you do that.
We bait them into trying to create the space, so when they do, and they sit up, what's now holding you?
Nothing.
Exactly. That's kind of the,
It's an airframe.
because in most instances, the person who's on top is trying to smash to reduce the space, and the person on bottom is trying to create space. Because if we have space, we can move, and if we have no space, we can't. Again, it's not saying which direction we're moving, it's just saying that I need space to move. And so anytime they want to give me space, don't fight them. At that point in time, that's always one of the things we shift on. So when we're going into a position, like in this case, we're going into, like I said, it's kind of like the origins of where the buggy choke comes from. And I wrap up his head, and I'm trying to create my space so I can slide my knee in. And they want to then try to pick me up off the ground and sit up to make their escape. Okay? I'm not committed to saying I have to hold him by his head. That's not the whole point is the creation of the space. So then if he wants to sit up, we just let go and move on. Because now they've given us the space that we wanted to create in the first place. And so that becomes part of the thing we always have to look at is in any what is the real purpose of what we're trying to accomplish? And then we're using this tool, this overhook on the head, to try to make it happen. Okay? But it wasn't the goal, the space was the goal. And the space is what allows us to either get to an open scramble, pull guard, these is predominantly our two majors, or maybe a counterattack. That's pretty much your three. Just create an open scramble, get to your knees, that's like your ghost escapes, things of that nature. Pulling back into guard, or like a counterattack, those that like to throw arm bars from bottom, things of that nature. But I mean, those are really our only major goals. That's what we're actually trying to accomplish. The others are just tools of how to get there. So we get caught up though, where we look at something and go, but this is supposed to be the move. No, it's not a move. It's a tool to get to what we want. It's just a tool how to get there. So one of the things we always have to look at, and that's why I like looking at, to me, what are my wins? Where do I feel like if it doesn't go my way, what is still acceptable to me? Okay. So again, acceptable to me, guard, half guard. Acceptable to me, loose scrambles, getting back to my knees, or in some instances, literally just getting up. Now I'm in turtle instead of being stuck on bottom. To me, that's a halfway point of getting to my open scramble. Okay, or reversing them. Getting into a position where I can like sweep them or maybe counterattack and the like. But those are, so right now I have three acceptable pieces to me that I'm okay with. Okay, but I don't limit myself to how I get there. And that's the thing. Moves are not your identity. That's why I think it completely silly when, how many leg lockers literally will tell you they're a leg locker. It's in their Instagrams, it's in their everything else because it's literally their identity. Okay? So their identity, I mean, it's like me wearing like crescent wrench. Like my identity is crescent wrench. It's a tool to be used to accomplish what I want. Okay? But once you become so engrossed that it's your identity, then you're not going to branch out and you're not going to go on into other stuff. Like I said, this is just a tool to help me lock them down and then potentially create my space. And the space is for what? It's for guard retention, it's to get to an open scramble, and it's to potentially counterattack. It's for me to do one of those. And I'm okay with any single one. I don't have an issue. Because I'm not connected. I love Kimura. Kimura's an amazing thing. Heel hooks are an amazing thing. But I'm not so connected to it then I feel like every time I roll that this tool must become my thing. Because then that becomes a limitation. Yeah. And it doesn't mean, like I said, just because something's good and you use it, I mean, that's just cool, but yeah. But when you put that boundary onto yourself, like in this case, oh, I have to hold it by his head, and then all of a sudden now it's becoming a detriment. The tool now has become the boundary that's holding you in place, rather than going, my real goal is over here, let's let go and move on. Okay? So now, looking at like this little overhook, we're looking at some of our frames. So now we're just going to look at, once we create the space, so again, I want to make sure that it's hard for him to bring that neck down. 45-degree angle frames are always the best. Drive down, drive down, drive down. Okay, so now I'm using the pressure into the hip to create where if he can't get his hip to connect, it's very difficult for him even to cross face me and get real pressure on the cross face, because his anchor, he's already like overextending when he's trying to do anything. Okay, so then I can shoot, we can start to wrap him up. Okay, or similarly, if I'm here and I start to push, it's this hand's desire to kill me and control me and the like that's going to become his downfall. So as I'm framing in and I'm trying to create that space, okay, this one trying to come in by the knee, we've already said that's already too difficult. That was way easy. I didn't even move. This is hard. That was almost effortless. Okay, so when I'm here and I can bring that leg in, this time I went high, hand shifts. Now we can feed, and the harder he tries to hold on, the better the armbar becomes. Okay, now again, you can see the armbar coming a mile away, so what's he going to do to defend the armbar? So again, what was one of my acceptable pieces? Okay, I either hit the submission, I get to an open scramble, or I retain guard. So when I'm here and I get into my frame and I drive in and I come in, oh no, he pulls his arm. We're like, damn, stupid, I just missed the armbar. This move sucks. Does it? Because now what was created? Okay, so he pulls his arm out, he's going to start to try to do something, okay, and the like, and now we're into an open guard. Isn't this what we wanted? But we get caught up in the identity of the move and then claim it doesn't work, when it actually worked beautifully to get us one of the actual goals that we want. Creation of space to get back to guard, creation of space to be able to get a submission, or creation of space to be able to get into an open scramble. Yeah, I missed the armbar. I don't hit that armbar very often, but it puts me back in the guard almost every time. You know, for my son Christian, he hits the armbar a lot, but it's because the more they want to grab on, you know, they get so caught up in the move itself that they forget what the goal was. Okay? And so when it fails what they wanted, which is the sub, then we go and we claim that we've sunk. And when the reality is, brilliant. Like omoplata is a brilliant technique, but it just sucks at the shoulder line. But when it goes to, when you look at everything else that it does, it's brilliant as far as the technique. So now, frame up. When you create that space, I find for myself, I can't, if I throw my knee down towards the hip, okay, it's harder for me to really lock the armbar. So if I slide my, just like I would like knee on belly, if I slide my ankle up more towards the armpit, I have a better chance. Okay? If my knee is down, I'm kind of hedging my bet. I know I'm loosening up my armbar, but my knee is already in play so that when he pulls his arm out, I'm already in a better position for guard retention. All right, let's try it and we'll go. So first day of summer. Yay. Well, not officially summer, school summer. Bring the knee up high. Other knee.
Other knee. That's what I was wondering.
Now, push his face. No. Because you're gonna armbar him now.
Oh.
No, go back.
Go back.
Push his face between your legs.
Down.
No. Your hands are in position, it was.
Here.
And then your leg goes over his head.
This.
Yep.
This
Yeah,
one.
nonetheless, it's making me move.
One is in the armpit, and the other one goes over his head. And then his arm gets trapped in your armpit.
Still leaving this one behind trying to get it.
So, this foot's here. Push.
Oh. Oh.
Now, look what you did with your knee though.
Oh.
Yes. Now,
So do I
no,
do
you were perfect. You're good.
here?
Now, shoulder down, hips up.
Light bulb.
Not in his back, she got a light bulb.
Here.
There, see now, you're caught. You start hunting for the hand.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. It's not. Oh.
Once went to the scramble,
Right, where
All sorts of stuff opening up.
right?
Let's hit that shotgun.
Yes.
down.